I was going to say that SEO with Fat Joe is as peaceful as this, but then the birds are all having fights.
Did you know that Google personalizes many searches by city and Also Asked is the only tool to access live People Also Ask data at city level? Try for free at alsoasked.com.
Tired of SEO guesswork? Quadra's AI agent goes deeper to uncover high-impact optimizations and completes hours of SEO in minutes. Get started now.
I have told them a dozen of times that they must optimize their website. It's not PPC. And above all, their ads weren't running over the weekend. So it's not my issue. And the email, above all, was sent on a Saturday, and then on a Sunday, a follow-up, and then other follow-ups. So, sorry, but no, I am not taking it. And I know that in the audience, there must have been other people who have been blamed for bad performance, whereas the real issue wasn't the PPC bit. So whoever can, please raise both hands if you've ever been blamed for bad PPC when the real problem was the product page of the website. And I also know that if you're in PPC, you have done everything. You have optimized for your feed. You have done creative A/B testing, max CPC cap. You have done everything. The problem is not the ads. And that's the thing. PPC isn't just about the ads. It's about the entire user experience. And now I know you're going to say, no shit, Sherlock. Well, thank you. I knew that. I didn't pay HeroConf for that. And you are right. You're right. The juicy stuff will come in a bit. But what I want to tell you today is that with small, high-impact CRO tactics, you can make your life better. You can pass them on to your client, to your developer, and they can implement them immediately. So to get things started, I wanted to warm you up a little bit and wanted to audit a product page. I'm going to put major trust in you guys. So if you want, you can go along on your mobile phone. Please don't get distracted. We are going to analyze this page from Casetful, and it's the Geodots pastel green page. It's not my client. I hope the marketing manager is not in the audience, or the PPC manager. It's a UK brand, but I'm not going to bash them completely. So I wanted to also say something positive about them. We're going to talk about the trust elements, because as you can see here on the screen, we first have the Add to Cart button, and immediately after they show free standard delivery, made in the UK, money back guarantee. And that's very important, because the human brain, the old brain of human beings, is wired for survival. Our brain doesn't like risk. So if they feel risky about the purchase, they won't be purchasing. So you need to make that trustworthy feeling. A questionable option is the financing option. They may not have used that in the page for a multitude of reasons. For example, we're talking about cases. So the product price is not that high. Maybe they're like, you know, who cares? But you'll be surprised, a lot of users use financing options even for low-priced items. But maybe they actually didn't use it because the costs of implementing it was too high, or maybe it was a conscious decision, because actually a lot of people get into trouble with financing options. Then something that's not that great. Here we have the Add to Cart button, and I'm scrolling, and as you can see, the Add to Cart button is not sticky. So I have to scroll all the way down, all the way up again if I want to add it to the cart. Maybe I don't even remember the product title or the price. So that's just not great. Another one is the pricing for variants. As you can see here, the product is $20.99. I'm picking a different model, and the price doesn't change with the model. So that's fine. But then when I choose another case type, the price actually changes to $26.99. So now I feel a bit confused. Do I have to change model again? Is the price going to change? No, it's just not clear. And that was it. I usually take about 10 minutes to find a couple of findings like this. So it's very, very easy. And I know what you're thinking. This feels a bit like guesswork. And, well, you're partially right. Of course, A/B testing is the only path to data-driven decision-making. The truth is that in this audience, I'm pretty sure that if you enter in some data in a pre-test calculator, it will turn out that you have an insufficient sample size. And that means that you have not enough traffic and not enough conversions to have a reliable output on your A/B test. So it doesn't make sense to do A/B testing. But other than that, you need required skills. I mean, you are performance marketers, PPC specialists. You will probably have a hard time keeping up with all the updates that are happening in the platform. And an experimentation specialist has a lot of technical skills in running A/B tests. So doing both is quite challenging. And then lastly, there's the longer implementation times, because depending on your sample size, usually tests run about 4 to 6 weeks. So you have to prepare the test, you have to run the test, and then you have to implement the test. So it's quite a lengthy process for if you want to see quick results. So, can I actually improve conversion rates without A/B testing? Well, if you've seen some posts on LinkedIn from some gurus in CRO, and they are saying, you know, you cannot do CRO without A/B testing. I am calling BS. That's just utter BS, because they are just lucky to have the bigger sample sizes. And they can do the tests. But a lot of us can't do the test because we don't have enough traffic. And that doesn't mean that you sit still. You can improve the user experience. You don't have to do nothing. So if we don't need A/B testing in all cases, how do I avoid guesswork? Well, there are a ton of UX laws, and we're going to look at a few of them. So the fits law, for example, relates back to our add to cart example, because it says that the time to reach a conversion depends on its size and its distance. Because if you have a tiny, tiny, tiny add to cart button, it's very hard to click it. That's not our problem. Our problem was the distance. You need to scroll, scroll, scroll to find it again. So Fitts law actually proves that, you know, it should be very close and easy to click. Then there's the Hicks law. Hicks law says that the more choices you give a user, the harder it is for them to pick. And that's because of the cognitive load that a user then has. Now, in our case, of course, we have a lot of different variants because it's a phone model. It's for phones. So you can't just delete your variants, but you can make it easier. You can make it easier by providing immediately the prices there so that they don't have to go over all the different variants again. And then lastly, the last one is the most beautiful law of them all. It's the Jacob's law, because Jacob's law says that users expect your site to work similarly to the ones they've used before. And this also relates to me because, for example, this doesn't have anything to do with the online sphere, but if I, for example, get a train, I always take the same path to get to the train. It's annoying. I try to change the path sometimes, but I always take the same path. And it's the same for online users. I mean, I am pretty lazy. I'm not going to say that you guys are lazy, but I don't know. Maybe your users are lazy. Probably they are lazy. And they just like to have that same path over and over again. It needs to be easy for them to make a purchase. But of course, we can't just go over all the different UX laws. So also internally, we use a checklist where we have all the different things that we can check out next to the UX laws to make it easier to analyze product pages. And if you want to scan it, of course, here it is, so that you can use it. And lastly, there's the Nielsen and Norman Group and Baymert Institute. They are two magnificent resources for UX research. They have paid resources, but their free resources are also really, really great. So if you want to dive a little bit deeper in user experience UX, then I would really recommend you to check them out. So that's enough for UX. I told you I'm lazy. And again, I'm not going to say that you're lazy, but I use AI even to write 2 sentences. I'm going to admit that. And I know that PPC managers probably also use AI quite a bit. So can we leverage it for CRO too? Well, the answer is yes. One way to use AI is with Operator. It's from OpenAI, ChatGPT. And what I did here is I wrote a prompt. I copied my checklist. I inserted it. I inserted a URL. And then I made Operator do all the hard work for me. So I grabbed my cup of tea again. I'm happy again. I'm relaxed. And it's just Operator doing the work for me. So as you can see, Operator is actually browsing for me and then analyzing the page for me. Operator is only available with a VPN in the US. It's not available here yet. But like you can see, it's analyzing it. I asked it to provide me with a couple of suggestions of things that I need to improve. So now you can see within 1 minute, it gave me some outputs. And it's not foolproof, of course, because it's still AI. So we need to use our brain together with Operator and double check if the outputs are okay. But it does give you a quick way of getting some insights and things to check. But that's not it. Of course, we can also combine AI and automation. And what I'm about to share you, we had a conversation internally, like, should we share this? No, we shouldn't share this with the audience. I'm like, yeah, we should, you know, it's my talk, we should share it. So don't worry, you can also grab the QR code at the end for the materials. I think we made something really, really cool. You can use it also outside of CRO. Basically, what we did is we have a similar checklist, and then we write down a small issue description here, the crappiest issue description that you can think of. Like I'm writing here, there are no bundles, even though the trousers and sweaters fit well together. So I'm not putting down a well-written description. And then I'm going to write down a solution. So again, super crappy. Bundle products for higher AOV. Done. Now I'm going to run the scenario we built. And in real time, this is seriously in real time, it's gonna rewrite my issue description and suggested solutions. And it's going to also provide other and better solutions for the issue I described. So it's doing all the work for me. Now I am going back to my initial sheet. I'm gonna say that the audit was completed. And I'm going to my Drive folder, waiting for a couple of seconds. I refresh the page. I know you all hate slide preparation, so it just created the slides for me in a couple of seconds. And yeah, it put down our issue and our solution right into the presentation. You can also put a screenshot in there. It's not in this version, but we made a version 2. So if you're interested in that, come up to me after the talk, of course. We just have to reread, of course, the issue description and the suggested solution to make sure that we agree what AI has written for us, because, of course, we can't just trust it completely. But yeah, like I said, we've made this automation with Google Sheet, ChatGPT, and Make, and it's truly really powerful, I believe. I would love to take credit, but I didn't make it actually. So this is our automation team, Andrea, Marco, and Fabio. So thanks to them, we have this nice scenario. And of course, if you want to grab it, feel free to make a picture of it. I'll just give you a couple of seconds. So, I hope you don't look like this right now. I don't know. I would understand it. I mean, you are PPC specialist and you're like, why should I care about CRO? And you're right, you're not being paid for CRO. I understand. I also don't want to work and do someone else's job. But there's this one really beautiful thing, I believe, like the most beautiful thing, and it's called client retention. Oh, it's this magical thing of not receiving those nasty emails over the weekend. You don't have to open up your laptop and be frustrated by complaints. So sometimes it does make sense to actually share some insights with your clients, make some additional implementations so that your performance is doing better also on PPC. Because like I said, ads is not, PPC is not just about the ads. It's about the entire user experience. My name is Marouscha. I am the general manager at Midsummer Agency. We're an Italian agency, but we're working in an international market. Thank you so much.